Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Whew Chile Chronicles Podcast. It's your girls, Cubana Kiss, and I got my Colum alum homies with me, Mitch. What's up, Mitch?
Yo, what's good? What's good?
And Men's. What's up, Men's?
What's good?
I miss you, friend.
Man, I miss you too. I ain't seen you since forever.
It's been too long. We're gonna have to fix that. So today, I got my homies with me, and we're gonna talk about simps and pick-me's. I feel like that's the trigger word on the internet for the rest of our lives. You know, thanks to Kevin Samuels, child.
Rest up,
man. So let's start with the definition of simp. According to the Urban Dictionary, these definitions are according to the Urban Dictionary. They do not reflect the views of the Whew Chile Chronicles Podcast. We ain't got time for this shit. So, according to the Urban Dictionary, it says a simp is someone who does way too much for a person they like. It does not specify gender. I want to start there. It does not specify gender. Whereas a pick me, it in the Urban Dictionary, pick me does not even come up. You have to put pick me girl. Is a girl who goes out of their way to impress boys and make them seem that they are not like other girls. Kind of like a simp, but for girls. And so those are our definitions. And Men's, I know this is your favorite topic of life, child, recently.
Staying in Vegas. Staying in Vegas, I see so many simps and tricks that go hand in hand.
Yeah. Well, before we get started, I need to know. So we got the definitions, but I need to know what's in y'all cups.
Oh man, I got a little John Basil I got to finish off. I'm pretty much done with this bottle.
I'm on the fast. I got vacation next week. I'm gonna be on the island, so no drinking until I get there. But I will be drinking some rum out of coconut when I get there.
I know that's
hey, can I plug this John Basil and they just hit me with the sponsorship though?
And you know what?
Chicago's the finest.
That's what we gonna do, because I'm drinking Hornitos. I like Hornitos tequila.
Yeah.
I'm a Hornitos and DeLeon girl. So I'm just saying, if y'all want to send that money, send that bag. We gonna take it.
Send it. Send some bottles and the money.
Period. Now, before we get into the simps and the pick-me's, do you think that you could date someone? And Mitch, I know that you are married, and my listeners know I'm engaged. Men's, you still single? You dating? What you doing?
I've been in a relationship for about a year now.
Damn, I'm out of the loop. I'm gonna call you later.
No new topics needed. All right, new plan.
Well, with that being said, how do you feel about dating someone whose goals don't never necessarily align with what you see in your future?
I don't. Dating somebody who goes don't align with my future, that's crazy. They got to be, both of your partners got to be on the same program, and that's why I had to cut so many off. Like, it's okay to have fun with them. Like, oh, okay, that's what you into. Well, we can be cool, but that's about it. It's no point in taking it any further.
When you say that, is that something that you feel that you address like at the beginning? Because I know sometimes it'd be a situation where we don't really get to that point until you've been rocking for a minute. You feel me? So
yeah.
You know, that's funny because I feel like how a lot of guys will do it, they're gonna say whatever they gotta say to smash. If they know they don't really see you like that in their future, they're just not gonna come out and say it because then they ain't gonna be able to smash. So they're gonna keep it cool, like, oh yeah, woo woo. And then as soon as that, then that's when the pullback game start in. And women too, because especially out here, I've been experienced with that. Like, damn, she just dropped me off. She didn't want nothing else to do with me.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
I can see myself, and I think that I'm a little different. I think that goals in life change, depending on what you're going through or what you've been through. So, did I see myself, 5 years ago, wanting to purchase a home or be an entrepreneur or like having these multiple businesses? Absolutely not. If you ask any of my friends, that was not one of my goals. But now that's a goal of mine. So I don't think that I would like cut somebody off because their goals don't align with what I see my future in. But I do think the conversation would always be there for me. Like, we're gonna always continue to have this conversation, like revisiting it over and over and over again, just to see if we're on the same page a year later, 3 months later. You just never know.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And just to add back to them, I don't necessarily mean cut them off, but I mean like, and it's part of in that light of what they may want. Like, say for instance, they may want a relationship, but you're thinking like, I want to do this and do this. I want to travel. I'm not sure if I want to do all. I want to settle down at that current time. We can be cool, but as long as that boundary is still set to let them know that this is what I'm on and we're on two different pages.
Yeah.
In that regards.
Yeah, I think that's super important. Just kind of, setting that groundwork early and just really knowing where everybody at. Like you said, sometimes, things change. Like you mentioned, you have to reevaluate, where you were last year is not where you at this year, but you can't just spring out of the blue. Hey, we're not equally yoked. You know what I'm saying? That's like the
my God.
That's like a popular like catchphrase. You know what I'm saying? So
you just triggered me.
Kinda...
You just triggered me.
It's good to have that foundation early, and decide, hey, do you want to build this or, we just,
what we doing?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think too, being a woman and y'all knew me back when I was a young whippersnapper and men's, we've tried to keep our friendship as best we could, with, everything that's been going on. But I do think that like when I was dating, I think that like guys get thrown off when you ask that question, like, what we doing? It's not like we asking that question on the sense of like, what we doing because I'm trying to be your wife tomorrow. It's like, what we doing because this other dude want to take me out, and so I don't want you to be mad later when you find out. Like, I'm trying to figure out what we doing. Like, but why do y'all get triggered by so crazy ass phrases like what we doing?
Because a lot of times we don't even know what we're doing.
Well, you know what I mean?
A lot of times, you just be, how you see somebody at work every day and they may be ugly and they ugly, but every day, and then after a while, you know what, they don't look that bad. Damn, they brought me lunch. Damn, they kind of cool. I kind of like this person. And sometimes like in those areas, we don't know what we're doing because the same way you saying like what we doing, it's so many other women we want to shoot our shot with as well, but we're not building. It's only that one that we're really building up that emotional connection with, where we're like, okay, I can see myself with her. But at the same time, men are very guarded of their heart, because I know we've tried in the past of talking to a type of one, and it may not go the way you want it. So after that, you're like, oh, I'm gonna be careful about that. So just to make the answer short, like at the most times, we don't even know what we're doing. And we just going with the flow until something click.
Okay, ladies. Now don't say I ain't never help put y'all on game. You gotta listen to the episode so you can know what the fuck going on. Now, the reason I chose this topic today, I know it's like an age-old topic since Kevin Samuels died, and we don't have no new Kevin Samuels episode. Yeah, damn. But the reason I actually picked this episode, so I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I was on Instagram, which y'all know I'm always on Instagram, and one of the white country singers died, and Baller Alert TV posted how she left everything to her husband. She left everything to her husband, but her children are grown and they got money. Like they're like in a country music group, and the names escape me, but whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter to the story.
I'm like, who you talking about?
Yeah, I'll find the names later, but it's like very irrelevant to the story. But y'all need this little background to just get to where I'm going. So anyway, they have their own money. She left her money to her husband. And that was news. The news was she left everything to her husband. My comment was, why is this news? That's her husband.
Right.
Some fake account was like, okay, pick me. I'm like, damn, bitch, I'm a pick me because I want to leave my shit to my husband. Like, goddamn.
Wow.
So I was like, and then it made me go look and see what the definition of pick me was, because I never felt like I was a pick me. I think you both can attest to like knowing me. Even in my younger years, I can really give two fucks if anybody likes me or not. That's cool. So I was like really thrown off by that, because I'm like, how did this one statement of why is this, and the literal statement was, why is this news? That's her husband, literally triggered this person to be like, oh, okay, pick me. It also triggered other people to be like, okay, but those her kids. Her kids are grown with kids. Like, it's not like, you know, like she has small children. She has grandchildren. And we also don't know what the basis of the estate was which was my thought, right? Mm-hmm. She might have left everything to him, but she also might have left him instructions. Okay, this house needs to go to so-and-so. This amount of money needs to go to this grandchild. Like, we don't know that part of what was left. And that's just how I thought. So that's how this topic came about. And so when you see, because we're gonna we're gonna make simps equivalent to the male species, and pygmies are girls. So when it comes to simps, what is it about a simp that pisses other men off? Like, why does it matter to you that he's going above and beyond for the other girl?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was at the race line already. About to say, take off, go.
Hey, bro's ready to dig in. He's about to ignore your whole question. This is what I came on here to say today.
No, because it sets unrealistic expectations. That's what I hate about it. Yes. Yes, it sets unrealistic expectations. So many times I've dated women, and they probably had like a simp in the past that they was talking to me while they was talking to him. But they always bring up, well, he used to always take care of this and he used to always take care of that. I'm like, well, shit, you grown. You need to be taking care of that. I'm not doing that. Or, you know what I mean? So I think that is unfair, because when you're at this age, especially our age dating, you're building a partnership. It's not, I take care of you and you bring box to the table. You know what I mean? We're doing something. Some days I'm probably cooking dinner, doing this or whatever. There's no roles really in a partnership. But nowadays it's just like a lot of, because of things that women dealt with in the past, they want traditional outcomes, but they don't want to be traditional. And we modern men ourselves, so you know we don't know how to do everything as well. So it's just weird when you think about certain, you know, guys paying for everything and doing this and doing that, and she don't want to do nothing because of people she's dealt with in the past, especially out here in Vegas. These guys will buy you a BBL before they even know your name. You know what I mean?
Damn, for real.
I'm talking to your man.
I'm just joking. Damn, they handing out BBLs. Damn,
yeah,
for real. Nah,
you like, yeah, what's the Vegas flights looking like? Let me jump on Southwest real quick. Let me see. I got some credit on Southwest. So we use this.
Man, okay. So Mitch, I know you've been with your wife for quite some time.
Yeah,
so like,
I've been out the game for a minute.
Yeah, for a whole minute. You've been out the game for a second. We actually had an offline conversation. Mitch just thought he was so much older than me. I'm like, bro, no, like, what's happening? I just met you when you was already settled down. You was already settled down. That's all that happened.
Exactly.
But so does the simp word trigger you like it triggers me?
I mean, for me, it doesn't really trigger me. I understand, like, if I was in a game, obviously, like if I was still out here, you know, trying to, you know, get my roster going or whatever case may be, I could see how that would be annoying, right? Because like you were saying, you got to go above and beyond, because they're not saying don't go above and beyond, but what they're doing may be something that you either don't want to do or you may be incapable of doing. That doesn't mean I don't want to rock with you any less than that other person. Mm-hmm. They may just have, like I say, I can't just be handing out BBL. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean like I ain't trying to jay down on you, but it could just be like a financial thing, or, you know, it just depends, you know.
Yeah, I feel you on that shit. I actually, from a woman's point of view, I don't like the word simp. I also don't like the word pick me, but we'll get to pick me's in a minute. I don't like the word simp. I think that I don't like the word simp because I feel like there's a culture of fuck you bitch that we're in that I just really dislike. There used to be a point in time that whether you liked a woman or not, you still respected her and you still were like
Right.
nice. And I think that we've lost the nice part. Like what happened to just being nice to people? And
Social media
but
happened.
right, but I also understand, and I was told this the other day, like I got my flaws and I got what it is. And I was talking to a guy like in a story, he was like, well, you got like pretty girl privilege. And I was like, fuck are you talking about? Like, like I don't get everything. He was like, nah, bro. Like a dude is gonna go the extra mile just because you're a cute face to look at, and we gonna come off as a simp because we're gonna go the extra mile. Whole time I'm like, I'm that girl that's just like, oh, he's just being nice. I will never think a guy is flirting with me. He's just being nice. That's all. He's sweet. Like he was raised right. Like that's just how I feel in my head. And then I hear I hear the men talk about like, nah, he making it difficult for people because she's not really up to par to get treated as such. And it's like, well, but she's up to par for him to feel like she should be treated as such. Like, why you care? You ain't trying to treat her like that. So I don't know,
No,
child.
that's valid.
Yeah, I want to add to that. I don't think if it's mutual and you give into a person that you like, that I don't really consider that simping. Especially if it's being reciprocated. You know what I mean? I mean, if your name is tacos under the phone, like you just got emojis of food emojis on the phone, and she always tell you to get something to eat, like you simping. Or if you going out of the way, like you guys barely know each other and you buying her expensive bags, it's just like, dude, what are you doing? Like,
So when
um,
you simping, it's like you're not even that relationship status at that point. You
yeah,
still kind of like
yeah,
low key talking stage at that point.
yeah,
Mm.
because you can't simp for your girl. You
Right.
know what I mean? I'm going out there to go see my girl. I'm bringing clothes with me. You know what I mean? She getting a bunch of stuff, but she also do stuff for me. She reciprocates for me. So that's what we're doing. The problem is where it's just like we're at this age where relationships are super materialistic now, and women look at men like their wallets, and not all of them, because you know we are outliers. I know y'all, you know what I mean, Cubana. I know how you been forever, so you're not one of those type. And I always say, like, you're one of the outliers, but especially being out here in Vegas, and just going out and traveling, I see certain girls like, oh well, my last dude used to do this and do this, or a girl will tell me how much her rent costs. I'm like, I've been doing this and you should pay this. And I'll be thinking, you're an adult. You should pay your own rent. I'm not paying your rent. I'm not doing none of that. We're
It's
not
it
at that level.
yeah. It's funny that you actually mentioned that. So like, um, you know how Facebook give you your memories that you really don't be wanting, and you be
Hmm.
trying to figure out like why the hell was I typing like that?
Man.
So like I had one of those memories come up today.
You wasn't doing
And,
uppercase, lowercase, was you?
woo, I
Oh
wasn't
my
doing
God.
that, but I was using the wrong words, spelling words, all kinds of fucking wrong. I don't know and I was in college, so I'm not sure exactly what was happening. It was bad. But one of the posts actually today that I made was like, y'all only want to be my boyfriend, but y'all want husband privileges. That was the status. And I have no idea what I was going through in my life, but that was the status. And somebody had and what I like to do on those memories is go back and read the comments, right? And it also just shows me who got me blocked. Because like why is it 12 comments but I can only see one? Like what
Oh
happened?
man.
Like who did I piss off? But that's great. So like one of the comments was like, because y'all want us to do husband shit, like pay your rent. And my comment to him was like, no, I expect my husband to pay my rent. I expect my boyfriend just to be my boyfriend. And I think that there's a difference there because there's like, like if anyone wants to talk to my fiance right now, they would be like, he would tell them like, no, Cubana as a girlfriend is different than Cubana as a fiance. And I can tell that's going to be different than Cubana as a wife. There were certain things I had to hold back from you, nigga. You gonna give me a ring? Then you can get whatever you want. But until you give me a ring, there's certain things I'm not doing for you. and I feel like, you know, like the bare necessity of like cooking dinner. I have plenty of friends like, I ain't cooking dinner for that nigga, so that's my husband. But it's like, I gotta eat, bitch. So like, I'm not expecting to go out to dinner every day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna cook.
Yeah, that's unrealistic.
You're right. You know what I mean? Like, to me, those type of things are like, what's happening here? Like, I don't understand that process. I think that a lot of men too, and we're gonna take a break after this. But I think a lot of men have that same view, right? Like, they want wife privileges, but they not giving husband ass duties. Like, you ain't paying shit up in my house, but you want me to bend over backwards for you as your girlfriend. I'm not your wife though. So like, why would I do all of these things? Like, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's valid on both points. Like, both you have to be kind of equal. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be willing to put in what you're giving and vice versa. You know, you can't expect one person to be 100% and you doing bare minimum. You know, but that also goes back to, you know, and I hate to use that equally yoked. I think that's like such a corny like catch all right now. You know, but you kind of really got to be on the same level, or at least be at a point where you can build each other up to get each other on the same level. You know, you can't be half-assing it and expecting, you know, the pick-me's or the simps to do all of this. It's just not setting realistic expectations for a real relationship, you know?
Yeah.
So I can kind of see it definitely with both sides. You know, the pick-me is doing way too much, the simp's doing way too much, and you may be overlooking something because you're expecting a certain level of something when you're not even in a position where you are, I'm not gonna say deserving of that, but like, who are you? Like, who are you? Yeah, you know,
who are you?
Ooh, that's a good one. Who are you?
Put that on the shirt,
baby. Okay, I'm gonna make some money. I'm gonna be Whew Child. Who are you? What
let me trademark real quick. Trademark real quick.
All right, y'all. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back after this break.
Yo.
Back to the episode of Whew Child Simp Pick Me. I got my boy Mitch and I got my boy Menz with me, and we just talking about simps and pick me's and why is it such a problem in our community right now. So we've been talking about simps, but let's switch gears a little bit and talk about pick me's. So we went over the definition of a pick me. It's really just a simp, but a girl. And you know, the question that I'm posing to both Mitch and Menz is that, does a pick me turn you off, or is that somebody you kind of gravitate towards? Because even though she's saying some shit, are you trying to see if she really about it?
I think for me, when I was obviously on the scene, it's been, like I said, it's been a long time now, but I'm like trying to see who in the cut. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to see who all being flashy and you know, causing the most uproar, because usually that don't end well. You know, a lot of smoke and mirrors. You know, so I'm trying to see like who kind of cool and who ain't really, who like to they self. That's what you need to be looking for, not the one that's loud. You know, the loud ones is not. It ain't it. You know, you got to get you the quiet one. Ain't not quiet like don't talk to anybody, but just somebody that's more reserved and low key. You know, because that's, trust me.
You talking about trust me?
Trust me.
Menz, I know you on the West Coast, and me and you have had a conversation about the women on the West Coast, child.
Yeah.
Does it turn you off when you feel like a girl is being a pick me, or you be like, oh, is she really about that life?
That's weird. When they're super aggressive and out there with it, like you kind of get the sense, you know, being from Chicago, we naturally sense faulty behavior. You know what I mean? And I'm just real careful just because of my background where I'm from. When a girl is just like too aggressive or too on it or super agreeable, I'll be thinking like she's trying to set me up, like or something, you know. That's valid, though. And once some spidey senses start tingling, I'm like, no, this remind me of something that happened on exchange, you know. So I don't be going off of that. I do aim towards, I'll probably show her off or whatnot, but if I can get somebody that's like Mitch said, more reserved and low key, those are the ones that I really aim for, you know. I don't like super loud females and I don't like super quiet ones. It's a nice balance, you know. But I do see sometimes like when certain females or certain women will agree with a point that a man to make, they'll automatically call her a pick me. You know, if you say it's like such and such, this isn't right, you know, why is this like this? And then they quick to say, oh, she's a pick me because she's agreeing with a man and she's not a part of the hive. So that's more so the term I see it being used as.
I actually agree with you there. It's so funny because I've been with my guy for, actually we just made 5 years like last weekend or a couple weekends ago.
Yo.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Hey,
You know, and we are getting married next year, and I'm super excited about that. But I think that my friends, because I have been single so long, right? So it was like my son's father, a couple random dudes in between, and then him. You know, like I wasn't in a serious relationship. A lot of my friends didn't realize how traditional I was when it comes to relationships. And that has nothing to do with anything outside of the fact that I was raised with my grandparents. My mom, very much so in my life. You know, I was raised by my mom, just in the house with my grandparents. So I saw a different type of love and affection. And not saying that everything my grandparents did was right. Obviously, we live and we learn and we take the good and we replace the bad with what we think is better. And but my friends have noticed, like, oh, you know, we didn't know you was that traditional. Oh, we didn't realize that you do, you know, XYZ and you do blah blah blah. Like, are you cook dinner 3 to 5 times a week? Like, it's like, to me, like, well, first of all, I got a kid, so I gotta cook. Like, that little nigga gotta eat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, detail, bitch. Like, I don't know. Like,
but he at that age, he eating up everything right now.
For real.
He's 12.
And he an athlete.
Oh my God. We trying to get him to go to the gym. He was like, what? I was like, bro, you got to build up your stamina. He was like, what? Like, I want to cook. He's like, you finna cook? Like, he just asked me like 20 minutes ago, like, you cooking dinner or we ordering? He like, I'm hungry right now. Right. It's just a mess. But I say all that to say that I'm not a pick me because my values are deep rooted in Black traditions. I didn't take the trauma part and the toxic part that I felt like my family kind of laid the ground for us to see. There's part of that I'm like, oh no, that's not gonna work for me in my relationship. But there are other parts that are very much so traditional that I love. Mm-hmm. And so actually, and I bring that up because Ms. earlier you said, you know, like partnership don't have any roles. And in my house we do. There are roles. There are certain things that as a woman I am going to do, and I don't expect him to ever know how to do. I don't expect him to be able to do those things because that's my role. That's why I was intended to be here and in this position. But there are certain things that I would never attempt to do. I can't even tell y'all when the garbage man comes. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. Between my son and my fiance, they got it. I have no idea. They don't know when grocery day is either, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's just certain things that I just feel are like very much so. Those are your roles. Now, not saying that there's a woman role in a male role, but in my house there is. Yeah. But in somebody else's house that might not be what the role is.
It doesn't have to be specific to gender. It doesn't have to be you do your thing and I do this thing.
Exactly.
You know? Right.
Exactly. So
I think that's important that you brought that up because I know me and Mez have had a few offline conversations kind of around that same topic too, right? So this whole idea of like traditional relationship, traditional roles, what is that? You know, since 2022, what's traditional? We're not living in traditional times any longer. You know what I'm saying? So I think we get so caught up in these labels, again, going back to labels, going back to pick-me's and alpha male, beta male, all of it, you know what I'm saying? We want to categorize so much shit, right? And why does it need all of these labels? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? It's just, it's pointless, you know? And even in our household, we don't have like, when we have roles, but it's not gender specific. Like, I do the laundry, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most people say, oh, my wife do the laundry. Like, okay, that's cool, but is she doing it because she's a woman? You know what I'm saying? Or is that just her responsibility in the household and you do whatever else you do, you know? I think we get too caught up in what we feel like the other person should do instead of going back again, coming up with a game plan. Let's focus. Let's see kind of how you want to build. What does our relationship want to look like?
How do you want to build and what our relationship is going to look? You dropping some shit today. That got to go on the shirt. How do you want to build?
Look, man, I've been married for 5. We've been together for like 14. Like I said, I'm super out of the game, and I ain't trying to come here like no expert, but I done been in it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's working. You know, so hey.
And that's why I said I was like, Mitch got to be on here because he actually he's like one of my friends that actually seen that work. You know how people be saying goals, and then they'll be posting this weird ass celebrity couple online that probably drink baby blood and shit. I'm like, no, this is goals right here, you know, because both of him and his wife are my best friends. You know, it was funny. I was thinking about labels. I miss the old Chicago terms. I'm just finna go back to the old shit. I'm just finna start calling everything goofy.
Because you know I love them all. Let's talk your shit.
Like, your ass is a goofy. That's it. That's the only term we gotta use. We ain't gotta call them simps, pick me, all that. Your ass is a goofy. We go right back to that.
Now, and I won't say that there aren't girls out here with a pick me mentality, but I wouldn't put them in a box, right? Because there's a reason that they're at the pick me point in their lives or at that statement or whatever is going on. But I also don't feel like I'm going to label a woman just because she has a different opinion than I do. Oh, I don't agree with, you know, men being able to smack their bitch around. That don't make, you know, just because she feel like, he should be able to smack her the hell up. You know what I mean? Like, just because she feel like, actually, if a man don't whip my ass, that means he don't love me. If that's her mentality, I'm not going to be like, oh, bitch, you a pick me. No, because there's a lot of men that won't pick her for that shit. They're going to be like,
prerogative.
You need therapy.
She need more than therapy, child. She needs some shit, because what's happening? But I'm just saying, like, and that was very extreme of an example, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think that
I don't even think it was extreme.
I had a girl before tell me, I don't think you don't care about me because you don't argue with me. I was like, yeah, you are from a dysfunctional home. I'm gonna have to get up out of this.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, me and Mitch were able to have like a little decent conversation, like offline, and there are just things about, and to switch gears a little bit to more in relationships and less more about pick me and simp. There are compromises and things that you have to learn about someone when you're trying to build with that person. And I didn't learn to compromise with my spouse until, to be honest with you all, until about 1.5 years ago. And that was the best 1.5 years of our relationship. So even though we've been together 5 years, we've had more ups than downs, but we've had our downs where it's like, you know, him telling me little things like, babe, I really like when your hair is like this. But me taking it personal because of my own trauma and in toxic relationships. Oh, you trying to control me and you trying to do this, you trying to do that. And he like, no, I'm just telling you, I really like your hair when you do it like this. And I'm like, you a pastor and your mama ain't do her hair every day. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, why would you say that? And it's just like, we really had to learn how to compromise. What was the issue there? So he wasn't saying like, damn, babe, I expect you to do your hair like this every single day. But babe, I really do like when you do your hair like this, to the point that now it's like I do my hair like that just because I know he liked it. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's great that you were able to have that growth moment, and I'm sure it goes both ways with him as well too. And it goes back to like the moral of the story really is compromise, you know. And you say you had 5 years, you just got it 1.5 years ago. Which is fine, you know what I'm saying? That part, you know what I'm saying? But you have your ups and your downs. Like, you can't have the light without the dark anyway, you know? So you're not about to come into a relationship, just know how to do everything right. I'm still learning, you still learning, Vaughn, you learning, you know? So we learn every day, you know what I'm saying? So at least, you know, it's good that you're able to bring it up. Like, you learned something about yourself. You're trying to work on it. I'm sure he's done things he's working on. I think as long as we just keep working towards being better for ourselves, one, because you got to work on yourself first. That's important, you know, and then from there work to be a better spouse, better boyfriend, fiance, whatever the case may be. You're gonna get it, you know. It's gonna click, you know.
My grandmother told me she and I love that I still have my grandmother at 33. I still have my grandmother. That's just like a blessing in itself.
Wait, tell them how long they've been together. We had to offer.
They've been together for like almost 63 years, 64 years. I'm actually getting married on my grandparents' anniversary. I'm so excited about that. Yeah. So my grandparents have been together for a very long time. When I got engaged, my grandmother is very much so elderly, but and slightly sick, but still around, still kicking it. Like, oh, I'm coming over, you better cook. Like, that's what's going on. But when I got engaged, the first phone call the physical phone call that I got was from my grandmother, and she told me, and I didn't think anything about it, right? I was just kind of like, granny calling me with her old lady wisdom, like, what the hell she talking about? But like, the more and more, because, and let me go back a little bit. Me and my fiance didn't live together until now. So we weren't one of those couples that's like, oh, we've been together for 5 years and we lived together for 3 and now we engaged. Like, no, we just moved in together. We got engaged in February. He just moved in. Like, we just moved in together in July. So it's like, this is a new chapter for us. Mm-hmm. So she called me and she says, I just want to tell you that it's going to be hard. I'm not going to call and tell you like, oh, it's going to be easy. She was like, yes, love is beautiful, but it's going to be hard. And she ended with, you think I loved your granddaddy every single day? I ain't love him every single day. I just chose to still be there and love him the next day. Yeah, and hearing that, you know what I mean? Like hearing that little piece of wisdom from first of all, from somebody who lived through civil rights and all kinds of shit. Like, I ain't love him every day. Hell no, I ain't love him every day. But I still love him today. And I'm still with him today. Like, that just makes me push and fight a little bit harder than just being like, you know what, you can take this ring and fuck it. Like, I get mad, Crack but not that mad. Get out. Yeah, you know? Yeah. Like, yeah, so.
Adding to that, Cubana, I think that we're in that day and age where people are so quick to quit on something or quit on somebody because we have so many options out here. People are like, fuck it, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go somewhere else, and
we have short attention spans.
Yeah, short attention spans. It's so insane. And it'll be crazy. I have so many people from the past that'll come back around like, damn, Devon, you're doing way better. Like they'll see me out in public or something. I'm like, yeah, all you have to do is stick around. You know what I mean? Yeah. But what I really loved about like what you said earlier is compromise is key. That is something I'm just learning with as well. Like you all know, like I like to do my music. I like to chill, play the game. I like to work on content and just be creative. And then she was like, well, shit, when you gonna spend time with me? And I was like, I'm like, damn, that is true. I'm like, at first I was like, you see what I'm trying to work on. But then I was like, but we're something that we're trying to work on as well. So I have to spend just as much time cultivating our relationship as well. So I got me a whiteboard in my room. I'll be playing on my day from this to this time. I messed up our time here. I had it here. Oh, I could sleep for about an hour and 15 minutes after I get off and do this. So I really have to plan my days out just to make sure I'm giving everything that focus energy.
And I'm going to tell you this from a woman's point of view. Because we friends.
Yeah.
When you give a woman the time in your busy day and they see that you're giving the time in your busy day, they are more likely to help you achieve whatever goal it is that you're trying to achieve. He made time for me today. I bought him the speakers that I know he was looking for to help him get whatever that is. Because that's just how our minds work, right? And it kind of goes back to like a previous episode that I had when we talked about love languages. And it just kind of goes back to that. Like when you really truly compromise with someone and you know what's going on, what they need, what's happening, I can see that you're making the effort towards me. It changes everything.
It changes everything.
Yeah.
It changes the whole dynamic. But that goes with time, willing to put in the work and not ready to hit the eject button just because I got into an argument last night, you know?
And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes we can have some arguments and then go to sleep, hit up like, hey, wake up, good morning, how you doing? Like,
okay, so look, I'm gonna speak to that real quick. So that's one thing that we have kind of worked on in our relationship, right? We've agreed to not go to sleep mad or angry at each other, you know. You gotta
y'all been in it for a minute, child. Because let me tell you something. You know? I'm gonna go to sleep mad. Fuck you! Don't touch me.
When you go
I'll
to
wake
sleep
up in the morning and talk to you later, you raggedy bastard.
When you go to sleep mad, you waking up mad. Now you're starting your day fucked up.
That's
true
too.
The end of your yesterday was fucked up, and it's just you're not gonna get this shit together for the rest of the day. You know, it's gonna be damn near the evening or nighttime when you finally still start feeling like yourself. You don't want that shit. It's heavy. That shit is heavy.
And I joke around and say like I'll go to sleep mad, but truth be told, I cannot sleep when I'm mad at him anyway. If we're mad at each other and we argue and I typically can't eat, we gotta fix this because I don't know what's going on. Or just like people don't like to talk. Our generation is getting better because we're getting older, right?
Yeah.
And so like we kind of learned from the old generation of like what was okay and what's not okay, and like we shouldn't refer to women and men as this and that and blah blah blah. Well, one thing that I do love that we that we finally got under control was our communication in just in itself, and not necessarily the compromise part of the communication, but just communicating. Because there was a point in our relationship where it's like I'm thinking he's saying one thing, he's thinking I'm saying a whole nother thing, and we really saying the same thing in two different languages. And so what we do now is like, and you know, a lot of couples have pillow talk, and they kind of do this. Our pillow talk is usually resolving whatever issue happened earlier in the day. You know, you asked me this question, I answered this question, but now you're saying that what you were really asking me was this, but that's not what you verbally said. And I am a very black and white person, so you have to say this, and it'll go to him being like, okay, babe, I hear you. Do you understand that this, that, and the other? Like, it'll be as simple as that. That one conversation has changed the trajectory of all of our other conversations, because now we can communicate effectively without arguing, without yelling. I'm also not a yeller. I will okay you to fucking death. Okay.
You're not a yeller?
Okay. I actually am not. Believe it or not, as loud as I am, as crazy and ghetto and ratchet as I am not a yeller. Actually, even as a kid, if you yelled at me, I'm done. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm probably in a corner crying somewhere. Don't fucking talk to me anymore until you're ready to apologize. Even if you didn't do anything wrong, you have to apologize for yelling at me. Otherwise, I'm not talking to you. That's just, but I've always been like that. I was like that as a kid. I'm a true earth sign. I'm hard on the outside, soft on the inside. You know, I'm a fucking Tootsie Roll. It just is what it is. And I'm like that as I get older, it gets worse. Like, yeah,
because you become more yourself when you get older.
Yeah.
You know, it's so weird. I was thinking about this. I've actually seen my parents grow. You know, they've been together. Was it like their anniversary is on 420? So
gang.
On 420. They've been married for like 28 years, and I think about the way they handled some stuff when I was young, and I'm like, damn, they didn't know what the hell they was doing. They was just learning as they was going. You know,
all we all doing.
And now I see them, they've perfected this. My dad, he's actually perfected the lecture. I used to hate getting in trouble. That nigga, it used to take him forever to get the message out what he was trying to say. Now, boy, follow me around that house. You know why the shit was dumb, right? You know, right. But it's good to see that. And I was like, okay, so this is what a relationship is like. Because my mom's Belizean, Caribbean, she's spicy. You know, and she's gonna talk shit all day, but at the end of the day, she's gonna, you know, she's gonna do what's best for the family, and I always appreciated that by her, you know.
And I think as an Afro Latino woman, right? Like, I think that Black women get a bad rap for being spicy. When I tell people I'm Cuban or half Cuban, oh, you Cuban, they kind of excuse the spiciness, right? But if I don't address the Latina part, you know what I'm saying? I'm a Black girl. You gotta check your attitude.
That validates it for you. That gives you validation, you know? Basically. For them. For
me, it's just like, this is who I am. But for them, it's like, oh, you Black, you better go ahead and check your attitude. You ain't gonna never get a man if you keep doing this, that, and the other. But like, oh, if you Latina, oh girl, you gonna be cool. Like, it's just like, what's happening here? You know, man, I've been on the phone with you when your mom come in the house or like come around. I love her. Like, I love everything about her. I'll be like, she is the shit. And did you eat? And did you do this? And why is this over here? And what is going on?
That's her when she coming in my crib.
That's what I'm talking about. When she comes to your house. And I love that, because I know that as your friend, that's also the type of woman I see you with. Like, I see you with someone that's not going to be kind of like, just like I don't know who you with now, but just like, you know, the example you gave earlier, like, okay, so when you gonna spend some time with me? Because that's cool that you're doing all the other shit, but what about me? Right. You need like that type of structure. So when they say like women kind of gravitate towards men that are like their fathers, and men kind of gravitate towards women that are like their mothers, in actuality, it's on accident, but on purpose, that you need that type of person. There's a reason that you are gravitating towards that person, because that's what you need. Like, I gravitated towards every man that I've ever dated was super close to their family. I am not close to my family. That's something that I long for, but my family is fucked up. Listen to the last episode, you'll understand why. But my family is fucked up, and it just is what it is. But my fiance, super close to his family. I love every single one of them, like, equally. I have my own relationship with them. unknowingly gravitated towards these people who are close to their families. I need that. Like, I need that family kind of aspect. It's kind of dope in these streets, you know?
Yeah. You know what? It's funny, real quick.
Mhm.
That's right, because my girl, she definitely holds me accountable, with certain things. And I need that because I'm all over the place. I'm passionate about everything. And even with my mom, how she'll be like, okay, now reel it in. I know you want to do this and do that. Did you write on your chalkboard? You got your game plan together, and I appreciate that as well. So it's like I'm so passionate about everything and love everything. It's nice to have. She's an Earth sign too, and she's a Capricorn, so it's somebody to keep me, grounded while I'm trying to work through all these passions. Because sometimes I just get blinded by I want to do this and do that, and then I look up the middle of the week like today, and I'm burnt out by Thursday. Like, damn, I still got one more day.
I feel like whomever your spouse is, male or female, girl or boy, whatever you want to be, I feel like that person is supposed to be home. And I think that we lose that a lot of the times. When I used to hear the phrase like home is where the heart is, I never truly understood that, right? Like, what the fuck does that mean? But like
it's not like it doesn't be a physical meaning behind it. You're right.
The meaning is home is where the heart is, which means whoever has your heart, that is where home is. So it's like knowing that when my guy comes home, the type of job he works is very demanding, and can be very stressful, and it can be very hard on his mental and on his heart because there's a lot of shit that he has to see every day. When he comes home, I don't want to be the person that's also aiding to that heaviness for him.
Right.
But also when he comes home, and because I work from home, because I still have the luxury of working from home even after the pandemic, he doesn't come home and lay everything out on me because he doesn't see it every day doesn't mean it's not getting done, right? Like we mentioned laundry. I don't even think the man noticed that his towel gets changed every week or every couple of days. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he notices that. I don't think he notices that he's never ever gonna run out of clean underwear.
He gonna notice if it stopped though.
Right. He'll notice if that shit stopped, but he'll never notice that, like, oh, I don't have any, like, the underwear are always clean, the dishes are always washed, the laundry is always done, the dinner is always cooked, my lunch is always in the refrigerator, whether she's here or not, there's always something there. He understands that part of it too, but he doesn't make my life hard. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't make me doing those things difficult where I have to go search for stuff or like what's happening in the house and is this done and is that done? And are the shelves put up that I asked him to put up 3 months ago? Like, he doesn't make my life hard either. So like, home is where the heart is. So whether you a pick me or a simp, find home, bitch. Yeah. So,
Facts. Moral of the story.
Moral of the story. Find home.
That's real.
So I do want to say this. Men's, I think Mitch, you had a little part into it. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But the actual music bed that you all hear right now, Men's is actually the one who created that from the beginning of my podcast. I reached out to him. We have all been friends since college. Just getting back in contact with Mitch, but me and Men's, we've been friends.
Shout out to Columbia.
Yeah, shouts out to Columbia College, not university. Either one, both of them expensive as fuck.
Right.
But Men's is
Joe
actually
Run me my 20, Joe.
For
Run
real.
me my 20.
y'all know y'all gotta fill out a application for that shit.
Yeah.
All right, I'm making sure everybody who listening, if you got
that.
student loans and they federal student loans and you need them fucking that $20,000, you have to fill out the application to get the $20K. Fill it out. Letting you know right now.
Don't snooze.
Don't say I ain't tell you nothing. But Men's is the reason that I have a music bed and I have an intro and I have an outro. The music came from Men's. So Men's, how can they reach you?
Oh, now see, I know you have asked in a while. We're going to redo your music, by the way, but it took me a long time to get my stuff in order. So now they can go to tgoglobal.com.
Talk your shit.
Everything's on there. It's weekly uploads. I'm always waiting for copyrights to come back, so I do probably like a few beats they drop on Saturday, so a few beats on Saturdays. I'm gonna upload about 10 this weekend because I'm gonna be on vacation. this weekend, but tgoglobal.com. And I'm more than likely going to post a global promo code. I'll probably put it on the top of the website, get 15% off or something.
Exclusive to your listeners and your viewers.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Mitch, because I can't see your shirt for real. You rocking one of your shirts, right?
Yeah. This is a newer release. I'm losing my microphone. Hold on. Yeah, it's kind of hard to work with the camera, obviously. But yeah, just check it out. You can follow my business page. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at HealthXWealth247. HealthXWealth247. Hit me up on my website, healthxwealth247.com. This is a lifestyle brand that is focusing heavily on promoting health, wellness, and mental health and wealth building, especially in the Black community. So definitely check me out for sure. And man, you gave me an idea. For you, I will also do like a little promo code. I'll send it to you. And you put like a little tag somewhere on there, and then listen to your show, 20% off. Like, let's do it.
Bet. So, as y'all already know, I'm your girl, Cubana Kiss. I am Cubana Kiss on everything. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat. If it's a social media, I got it. But you can check your girl out at CubanaKiss.com. Buy your girl a cup of coffee. That's how you can support the podcast. Just click on donations, I think is the link. And you can go ahead and choose there. And you can buy us a cup of coffee. And by that, the proceeds go towards me just being able to provide you better content. Make sure you support Mitch and Men's. Get you some lifestyle wear. I'm buying mine. He know why I'm waiting, but I'm about to get mine. So when y'all see my merch on Instagram, just go ahead and click the link. And go ahead and get you some beats by Men's. So period. I really appreciate y'all coming on. So
yeah, thanks for having us for sure.
Of course, all the links are down low in the below in the bio if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast streaming site, just click the details more, and you'll get everything that you need. Until then, y'all, TTYL. Mwah.